Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. This video is the 5th in a series where I am going through the contents of the makeup bag that I used for the last 2 weeks and then showing you what I'll be using for the next 2 weeks. Alright, so starting with skin, I finally made it through this REN Bioretinoid Anti-Aging Cream, and took me a long time to get through this, and I substituted that for the LMS Pro Collagen Marine Cream, which I think came in the Glossy Luxe box in December maybe, and I've liked using this. I also used my Belif Moisturizing Eye Balm, love this. Flower, I loved this. This is the Seal the Deal Long Lasting Matte Setting Spray. The mist on this is very fine, and it kind of smells like the Glossier perfume, which I love. And so I like this a lot. This will definitely be coming back into my rotation. My Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, this will be going back into rotation at some point, but I won't be using it again for the next 2 weeks. And then Aveeno Positively Radiant 30 SPF, always in the mix. I also used the REN Perfect Canvas. I like this a lot. And I'm mixing things up a little bit in the next makeup bag, so I think I might keep this out and put that into that bag just to give myself options. The Milk Cooling Water Under Eye Stick, like this a lot. And then the two concealers that I used, I love this so much. This is the Tatcha, the Pearl in Moonlight. I love this so much, but I'm going to do something different just because I want to see how I fare without it. I'm a little bit nervous, but that's what this whole project is about. And then I also used my Hourglass Hidden Concealer in Fair. I like this a lot too. When I use this, I use my ring finger and apply it like that. I like this a lot, and I will definitely use this again. Foundation, I use my Hourglass Spanish Foundation in Vanilla. I love this. It is a little bit, my skin's getting drier. I think just because it's winter and whatever, but I think I will maybe not use this again until things get a little bit less harsh outside. But I do like this a lot. Under eye setting, I use my Too Faced Banana. It's Bananas powder. Like that a lot. Didn't use that as much. I realized that I don't really need to set that Tatcha really at all, but it's nice to have it around. Base color, I had 3. I love this. This is the Kevyn Aucoin, the Celestial Powder. This is in Candlelight, and I got this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag this year. I love this. My very reliable NYX Blush and Taupe for contour. And then for blush, I didn't really use the highlighter in here. I really only used the Celestial Powder. But for blush and for bronzer, this is the Viseart Face Theory palette that also came in the Beautylish Lucky Bag. I love that. Eye primer. I used the Essence I Heart Color for just regular putting on eyeshadow. And then if I just wanted to use kind of a blank canvas, I used my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. This is really getting down to the end, so I can't really compare it adequately to the Bobbi Brown. I might open up a new one of these because it really is almost at the end. But at this point, the Bobbi Brown is winning, and I will be putting that in my makeup bag for the next two weeks. Lips. I'm wearing this today. This is the Balm Meet Matte Hues in Charming. And then for reds, I use the Bite pencil. I think this is in 078. Really good. I love these pencils. And then the ColourPop Blur, Velvet Blur lipstick. I love this in Solo. Mascara, I used the new ColourPop BFF mascara in Black on Black. I like this a lot. There are a lot of really good affordable mascaras out there, so I think I still would prefer the Essence Lash Princess, but I like this a lot. I'll definitely use this. Brow products, my Intense Brow Routine, which I'll put a link in the description box down below if you're curious about it. I had 6 products. I had the Glossier Boy Brow in Brown. I had the, when I only used that by itself, ColourPop Brow Boss Gel when I wanted to set things a bit. NARS Soft Matte Concealer in Vanilla, which I use kind of under. I didn't use this today, but under. Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Dark Brown. Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Chocolate. And then today I used the pencil in Chocolate, only the pencil. I pared it down a little bit. And then Waterline, which I also used. Everything that I'm wearing today, I got from this bag. My Linda Hallberg pencil. This is in white core, I think is what it's called. I love this. This, as opposed to some of the other pencils that I've been using in the previous weeks, I think you can maybe even see in my eyes now that it applied. Sometimes pencils are so waxy or so hard that you really have to get in there to make them apply. And I didn't have a problem with this. Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. Love this. And then the two things that I want to talk about. So the eyeliner that I used was my the Balm Schwing liner. And I had a problem with it, and I really can't even show it to you. I should have taken a picture of it. But what happened was, this is where the brush would be. The brush tip had a little bit of fuzz kind of coming out of the end. And I used my tweezers to try to pull it, and the whole brush came out. So I'm retiring this. I still love this, and I have a backup of it that I will bust into in the coming weeks. But it's a struggle when you get something like that and you're really trying to get a very fine black line. You have to turn. With this one, it was more of a problem than what I subbed in for it. But this was really hard because it really is at the very end. And I'm trying to just figure out if there's a solution around that, and I don't know what that is. What I subbed it for, and I have a similar problem with this, is the Tom Ford eye defining pen. And the problem that I have with this is that little guy right there, right above my ring. And I've tweezed these out before. This is easier to work with than the Balm pen because of how it's sitting. It's really easy for me to turn it because it's on a particular side. The one on the Balm brush was literally coming out of the end. So no matter what I did, I was not getting a clean line. So this is what I subbed it out with. This is what I'm wearing today. And then finally, the eyeshadow palettes. I loved these. These were the two We Makeup palettes that I used. I am going to kind of a fancy dinner tonight, and I wanted my makeup to be a little bit more subdued. So I used the white in the Boreal Nights palette. I used these two mattes, and then I also used that matte. But I've loved using these palettes. The chartreuse, which is in both, is beautiful. They both have a duochrome. They're just lovely. I love both of these, and I will definitely be keeping them in a rotation. I appreciate the fact that We Makeup put them in palettes. What happens is you get them and they're all loose, and you put them in the palette in any order that you want to. I like the way that the colors are combined. I might take them out and put them into a larger palette with other colors, but I am enjoying these kind of together. The color story that we get together with these. So that's what was in my last 2-week makeup bag. All right, and then for my next 2 weeks, I'll go through that now. I'll start with face. Obviously going to be using my Aveeno Positively Radiant 30 SPF. I am going to use, this is my new, I said that I had a backup of that REN, but I don't. This is actually a serum, so I'm going to start using this. This is the Firming and Smoothing Serum from REN. Also going to bring this in. This is the REN Perfect Canvas, which I love, and because I'm not really using a lotion aside from the Aveeno, I want to give myself some options. And then for face primer, I'm going to use this. I've heard really good things. My skin is kind of combination. It freaks out in the winter. It becomes kind of dry, which I don't always know how to deal with. For primer, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, which is the reason why I'm not really using a whole lot of lotion this week, and I want to keep that perfect canvas around in case I need a little extra something. Foundation, I'm going to use my Covergirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous in 825. I haven't used this before. I haven't used CoverGirl in a long time, so I'm very curious to see how this works on me. For face powder, I'm going to use my Essence All About Matte face powder. For face color and face whatnots, going to use, this is a Givenchy Prism Blush, and this is in, the color's just called Love. It's a really pretty color. I'm excited to try that. I haven't used it yet. Bronzer, I'm going to use my Rouge Bunny Rouge at Goldcombe. I like this a lot. I haven't used it in a while, and I'm excited to kind of bring this in. It's mostly matte. There's a tiny bit of shimmer, but not much. For contour, I'm going to use my Marc Jacobs Mirage filter. I'll be using the contour side for contour, and I'll be using the banana side if I want to use anything under my eyes for setting. And for highlighter, I'm going to be a little bit fancy. I've had this for a while. I don't know how long. I don't see anything on the bottom about how long you can keep it, but I don't care because it's fabulous. I'm going to use my Guerlain Meteorites. This is in Clair. Just smell like heaven, and yeah, I'll be using this for highlighter for the next couple weeks. All right. Setting spray, I'll be using my Too Faced Hangover RX. Really pulling this in because, I mean, I love it, but I also feel like my skin's behaving a little bit strangely, and that might help. For eye primer, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Original Shadow Potion. This is just a baby, and be using this. And then I'm also going to bring back in the Bobbi Brown, the Longwear Cream Shadow in Bone. I like this a lot. And I will, to be fair, compare it with a nude jar of the paint pot, but I'm really liking that. For eyeshadow, I'm going to take two palettes. I'm going to use my Viseart neutral matte palette, which I love. And the new Ofra Francesca Tolot, I think is how you pronounce this. This palette, I was tempted to use this on its own, but I just wouldn't have enough neutral colors for, I mean, I suppose I could, but I don't want to have that kind of color all over my eyes every day. But I love the colors in here, so I'm really excited to dive in and try this. This is my first time using this palette, so I'll definitely give you some first impressions about that when I'm done with it, and I might do a video of me actually using it. Concealer. I'm a little bit concerned because I've become really dependent on that Tatcha. For my kind of lighter concealer, I'm going to use my Glossier Stretch Concealer in Light, and this has been okay, but just the Tatcha just doesn't crease at all. That's what I'm really looking for. I've been wearing this for maybe 3 hours. I mean, I have under eye wrinkles, but you just don't see anything. And then for something a little bit heavier, I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and I have it in Almond. Mascara, this is new to me. This is a small size of the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. I've heard really good things about this. This is also the first time that I'm using this. This I got, I think, in a BoxyCharm. This is a Pretty Vulgar, it's the ink pot, and I haven't used it before because the packaging is kind of big. But now that I've actually moved into using a makeup bag and I'm not just storing it upright in a drawer, it's a lot easier to justify the space. So very curious to try this. For my tight line, same as last week, except for the color's a little bit different. This is the Linda Hallberg pencil, and this one is in light core, so it's a little kind of beige, kind of yellowy, but more just beige, like a canary beige. So I'm excited to try that. For lips, I'm using two Viseart. I think that they're both called, I think that the item is called Le Baton Rouge, which is weird because they're all called that, not just the red ones. So the nude one that I'll be using is in maybe Quantrell. I'll put it up on the screen, but it's a really pretty nude color, nude kind of taupey color, pinky taupe. And then for red, Glossier, maybe, I'm not sure, and this is in a red. So these are the two lipsticks that I'll be using over the next 2 weeks. And man, I'm leaving it with brows, which suddenly has just become this point of discovery for me. I was not aware about my relationship to my brows and to brow products. So for this week, these 2 weeks, I'm taking a big risk and I'm using two brand new products. They're both from the new Urban Decay line. And one is the new brow blade in Dark Drapes. This is the pen side, and then this is the pencil side. I'm really excited to try the pen. I know there'll be a learning curve with it, so I'm glad that I have the pencil. There's no spoolie on it, which is fine. I have an extra spoolie. I like having both of these on here. And then for color, if I want to use a gel, I'm going to use the new Brow Endowed, and this is in also Dark Drapes. There's a side that's supposed to be a primer, and this is the, wow, that's really fine, and it's curved. That's the color side, and I haven't really ever opened it yet, obviously, which is why I'm getting so excited. So the primer side is straight, and it's interesting, and the brow side itself is kind of curved. So yes, very curious about that. Those are what I'll be using for brows, and this is all that I'll be using for the next 2 weeks. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have kind of a bag swap that you do, or if you just grab for whatever's around. And thank you so much for watching. A lot to do in the world, a lot to do on YouTube, and it means a lot that you took some time to spend with me today. Take care, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.